Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Showtime Stats, and today we are here with another video, man. I got a question to ask you. Have you ever played against an opponent that just plays some strange openings, some weird things you may never have seen before, or you don't know how to respond? Well, today, man, I got a video for you. I played a little 3-game series with this guy on chess.com. We were in some ranked games here, and yeah, man, it's a great game. He surprises me with a lot of weird, strange openings. I got to battle through it. And yeah, we had some great finishes. So without further ado, man, we'll go ahead and get right into the video. Now, the opponent here today, Mac Cleaver 2021. He is the antagonist. Obviously me, I am the protagonist. And you want to talk about starting off with a strange move? We get F4 right off the bat. That is the bird's opening. Obviously it probably is one of the two worst opening moves you can play. Now, so I don't know how to deal with this. I just play F6. He goes F3. Now, obviously, I could have started E5 or not E4, but probably like E6. I don't know. Opened up, attacked on this queen side. He's got a weak pawn here, but I just decided to play. I'm gonna play what I know. I'm gonna let this kid do what he wants to do. We go with a G6. So a little bit of a Pirtz or a King's Indian setup here from me. My opponent once again, let's go back here. H3. Striking out with E4. He's got a lot of weird pawn moves. I'm just simply developing my pieces, playing very eloquated chess. My opponent, not so much. I castle. Now he finally develops a second piece. And, I say, you know what? My king's in the center, or my king is in the side of the board, safely castle. My opponent is at least 2 moves away from castling. And when that is the case, you want to strike in the center. That's what I decided to do. Now, my opponent doesn't take. There's not much reason to. I decided to develop another piece. Obviously, he's about to castle here, not to a very safe spot, I might add. He already has A3, and F3 is very weak along the dark square diagonals. So, that's something to pay attention to for the rest of this match. My opponent decides to castle, developing my last minor piece here. And so he plays Queen E1, possibly trying to play some sort of attack along the H file here, with a move like Queen H4, not maybe like Grand Prix style attacking here, not really something I've really seen before. I decided to go ahead and take. Now it does give my opponent some development here, but that's okay. I had this little combo in mind here that we're gonna go ahead and show off. E5, my opponent takes, I take, and now he's up a pawn, but there is a very nice move here. If you can spot it, you can go ahead and pause the video. If you'd like. I like to say it's pretty nice. Oh, my fault. Not here. Here. All right. In this position, there's a pretty nice move you can find. Just see the eval drop. The eval dropped here to 0.6 for black. If you can spot it, let me know. But we're gonna go ahead and show it off. Knight E4. Now the idea here, your queen's hit, so you have to accept the piece, but you're losing your bishop, so you get a free pawn out of the exchange. Pretty nice here. And you may say, well, wait a minute. You're allowing this fork. Obviously, my bishop's covering, and you're allowing some trades here. Nah, not so fast. I could take this piece here. Now, don't get me wrong. This is a perfectly playable position. It'll give you about an even game. If you decide to go bishop takes, queen takes, bishop takes, queen takes, rook takes. It actually is a little trick here. Bishop F5, I think, traps the rook. So, a very playable position. But I decided to go for this move, King H8, with a very nasty threat here. My opponent does not see it. Instead, he sees, oh, rook, me take rook. And now we have bishop D4, pinning the queen, and obviously, getting a strong edge over my opponent. He decides to go ahead and take the bishop. I take with check. And now I also pick up this knight. So as you see, game 1, this one's basically already in the books here. It's just a little bit of rounding it up. We play a couple more moves here. I actually think it's about another 20 moves. I'll go ahead and show it off for you if you're interested. We do have 2 more games to get to, so I'm going to fly through it. My opponent starts to put pressure, attacks my queen, doubles up on that file over. Nothing's really scary here. I have a pawn defending this bishop. You're not going to, there's no real ideas here for him other than making it look nice. I infiltrate with the queen, give a check, and capture. I start rounding up these pawns over here. Check, so I capture this one with the idea that I'm going to sacrifice my queen and get down to this end game where I'm up what is this, 4 pawns and the exchange, 3 pawns in the exchange. Yeah, this is just a matter of time. And my opponent, it doesn't take him long to blunder here, lose the bishop, and he, in this position, my opponent resigned the game. That was game 1 versus Matt Clever. However, this was not all the tricks he had out the books, man. I had 2 more games with this man, and here's game 2. Probably shouldn't show you that part. Here's game 2, and once again, I thought my opponent was done with the tricks. He was not. E5, and so, okay, French defense, very, very popular opening. When I play against the French, I like to play the wing gambit. So that's why we have the knight f3 move. Okay, bishop e7. I'm not sure what book he found these moves in, but I might need to copy it because I've never seen a move like this. And when your opponent gives you space, you take space. And he could have pretended that was like a misclick and could have played d5. Nope, no interest in playing the French. He goes d6, goes for a small center setup. I think the small center Pierce is this sort of e6 d6. Not something I've studied intensely, I might add. I play the exact thing that you're supposed to do. Develop my pieces, watch my opponent what are we doing here, guys? Like, we have c6, b6, d6, e6. Like, I thought he was just going to play, f6, g6, h6, a6 and get the Berlin Wall here. But my opponent did not have that in mind. He had something else set up. I do the very, the smart thing to do. We castle, get my king to safety. And once again, same idea as the last game. My opponent's king's in the center. My king's nicely protected. I decided to break in the middle. d5. Obviously, he doesn't want to do that and open up the e-file. But takes anyways. And I get this really strong knight in the middle of the board. He has to get rid of that. You can't let that knight live there for too long because there were no pawns. It would have been a nice outpost. There were no pawns that could have kicked it away. So he had to get rid of it. I decided to take with the e-pawn, get a semi-open e-file. Obviously, his king is still on the e-file. I was planning to attack it. And if you thought this was making me crazier, h5, I'm sitting here like, what is this dude doing? He can't castle king side. He can't castle queen side. His king is stuck in the center of the board. We got to attack. h4, let's go. And this does blunder the pawn here. Takes. He didn't want to give up the bishop pair, I guess. Well, he already gave the bishop pair. He doesn't want to give up his bishop, the dark square bishop. But this was the idea of h4, was to trade off some more pieces here and try and somehow get at this weak king. We have knight g4, bishop takes on e7, queen takes e7, and now once again I get this nicely placed knight. Obviously, it can be kicked away with a move like f6, but I was really hoping for that. We get bishop check, and we get some nice... Yeah, I'm not sure if this is winning for me. Okay, Chalkfish agrees this is winning for me. That's what I was hoping for. My opponent, after deciding to push every pawn in the game, says, you know what, the f-pawn, we're not going to push that one. And so, kind of hurts my plan there. We get the bishop infiltration. Once again, I'm starting to think, I'm like, man, where can I attack? Where can I open up? We get a queen check. I'm trying to infiltrate the queen. And king just slides over. Now, this is actually a very solid... despite it not looking like it, this is very protected king. A nice spot from the B. I decided to sacrifice my bishop here because, like I said, I want to open up lines. I would have played something like f3, tried to open something up here. I'm not sure exactly what the plan was. I couldn't tell you because it didn't really work out. He didn't take the bishop. However, I decided, I'm like, okay, no, you're going to take something anyways. Okay, like, whoop-de-doo, I'm attacking his queen. He moves the queen out the way, and I kind of have nothing here. The knight jumps in. He's got a lot of threats here. Just take the pawn. He takes back. So he has 2 knights in the center board now, attacking my queen. Forced to move the queen. Queen a4. Now this is a devastating move. Knight g3. I'm basically out of moves here. The game does go on a little bit longer, but obviously I move my rook out the way. Queen comes in. Now he's starting to mate in 1. I avoid that, sliding the rook up, and he takes. And he has a little fun. I play a little ring around the rosy here. I capture his knight, but at the cost of my king. It takes him a little while to figure it out, but there is eventually a checkmate on the board. And now Matt Cleaver ties it up with me 1-1. This is game 3, game 7, basically the NBA Finals. What can I do? The captain of the weird openings is about to defeat me. Listen, you played. I was so disrespected. Like, what is he playing here? He built the Berlin Wall on the 6th rank, and I still couldn't beat him. So you know what? I had to calm down. Got to compose yourself. You know, you don't want to have to go out there like Hikaru in his little matchups where he decides to go h5, h4, and push your pawns on the board. All right, you gotta just, you know, you gotta take a deep breath and recollect yourself. Now, okay, this is a little less weird. The English opening, it's pretty uncommon at my level, but it does get played occasionally. He decides to play it here. I go for the King's Indian setup. Once again, you know, I've been kind of attacking this guy somewhat successfully. Obviously, the first game was successful, last game not so much. So I decided to go for King's Indian once again. You know, that is my response to the English openings. I've not learned any English theory yet. We got Knight D7. You know, there's just some very normal King's Indian moves here, just setting up pretty normally. And you know, break with C3 once again. I think E3 was slightly more accurate, or I'm sorry, C5. E5 was slightly more accurate here, but quite often I break the C pawn. He doesn't take it, so I said, okay, I'm gonna take, and now I get this E5 move up with the tempo. You know, very nice, and I get to place my bishop here, and right here my opponent makes a strange move. I'd say he captures the knight. Now, I was never planning on taking this light square bishop. You know, even though the bishop's normally better than the knight, this bishop is doing nothing here. It's staring. It's basically acting like a giant pawn. I'm not afraid of it, so I was kind of happy when he took. I'd also open up the D file for me, so a little more attacking opportunities, because once again, well, his king was in the center. Now it's castled. But, yeah, I got rid of his dangerous bishop, and now I have a nice bishop pair. We go knight h5. They're not on the rim, normally grim, but I was looking to plan it on f4. And obviously he doesn't want to push this pawn because then it would create a lot of attacking potential for me. He defends that idea, however, brings the knight back to e2. We get f5. Once again, going for the break, going for the nice attack here. He doesn't take, instead decides to line up a little battery here. And I take this time, and now I'm like, all right, let's get some trades going. Once again, staring right into the face of his battery with my bishop saying, let's go, come on, what are you doing? He attacks my queen, a little in-between move. We go queen a5 and try a3. You know, I think he's looking to eventually push my queen away. However, I'm not going to let that happen at the moment. We go for a little a rook exchange here. He takes and I take back. Now, I could have taken with the rook because I still had, you know, this queen defending. However, I wanted to make these pawns connected. I didn't want to isolate this pawn. So we capture with the pawn, he takes, I take back with the queen. So I'm starting to shift all my pieces over here. And I'm trying to create a pass pawn, basically. These pawns will be very strong, as you will see very shortly. D1 attacks the queen. Okay, that's fine. I just slide it over, just get a little nudge. Provide some extra defense to this e-pawn. And now he brings the queen over, attacking this, you know, just kind of like making sure that my queen stays where it's at for the defense of the b7 pawn. But e4 comes. He's got to push the knight back. Now f4 comes. And this is getting very dangerous for my opponent here. You know, yeah, you know, he's got these pawns steamrolling down the board. I still have all my pieces lined up on this king. And he's got, you know, what does Mr. Gotham Chess say? You know, you can't stop an avalanche with a knight or with a horse, however he puts it. Yeah, that's a very true saying. F3 comes in, and now what do you do here? If you're white, what is your game plan? You can take and open up the G file for your king, but my G file is open as well. I'll just slide my king over, bring the rook in, we'll have a nice attack going. So instead, my opponent decides to slide his knight out of the way, which is a game-losing decision. Obviously, I can take. He takes, and now a nice little in-between move. I could have pushed the pawn first and then gone for something like this, but yeah, I decided to instead go for the bishop check first, provide a little extra defense. Don't have to sacrifice my pawn so soon. He sees a threat incoming. Obviously, the threat is to push this pawn. I'm going to capture his knight with check. His queen's coming in. So he's like, all right, let me just get rid of this bishop. But in turn doing that, now there's a third pass pawn coming and running down the board. He gives this nice little check here, whatever. I just slide my king out of the way. He brings his queen in once again, trying to threaten some type of checks. I'm not sure exactly what he was doing. He's also attacking this d pawn. So it's probably mainly what he's going here, attacking this d4 pawn. I defend it with the rook. He slides in again, you know, looking at, it's an aggressive looking move, but it accomplishes basically nothing. Yeah, sure, he's attacking this f pawn, but I don't care. Take the f pawn, man. Take the f pawn. Have a nice day. Enjoy your f pawn. D2, there's basically no way to stop this now. More accurately, probably should have played knight e3, but instead goes knight f2. And now this is very simple, pushing the knight out of the way. Gives a check. Okay, I think that's just a little bit of anger there. A little bit, you know, when you get upset, you're playing chess, you get a little tilted, you'll say, and you just start throwing checks in there for the hell of it. I think that's what he was doing. There's obviously no way to hold this position for if you're white. Simply promote to a queen. You get the other queen in there, sure, sack it for the knight, whatever. And in this position, my opponent resigned. Obviously, no matter what he plays, I can promote to a rook and get checkmate. So there you go, man. Nice little series I played against my boy Matt Cleaver. I came with some strange openings, but you got to stay focused and do what you know. You know to develop your pieces. And yeah, you got to play a little slower, but it is worth it in the end. If they play strange openings, they're normally not very good. So you got to take advantage of the weaknesses and the position. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for you guys today. If you're wondering why I didn't upload last week, it was my 21st birthday, and you can throw me a little happy birthday in the comments below. So I was a little busy with that, but I'll try and get some more uploads for you guys. With that being said, that's all I got for you today, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.